In 1948, as the world emerged from the devastation of World War II and the horrors of the Holocaust, something extraordinary happened in the Middle East. On a contested strip of land once controlled by the British Empire, the State of Israel was declared. Its birth was hailed by Jews worldwide but condemned by its Arab neighbors. Chaos followed, armies mobilized, borders shifted, blood flowed. And yet, amid the turmoil, there was one surprising silence: Iran. Yes, Iran. A powerful, oil-rich Muslim-majority country stood apart, not in full support of Israel but not in opposition either. In fact, Iran became one of Israel's quietest and most strategic early allies, a fact rarely mentioned today. Back then, Iran was ruled by Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, a Western-aligned monarch who feared Arab nationalism more than Zionism. Egypt, Iraq, and Syria, with their Soviet ties, were seen as bigger threats. So, Iran and Israel grew incredibly close behind the scenes. Oil flowed to Israeli ports, intelligence was shared, Mossad trained Iranian agents, military cooperation thrived in the shadows, El Al landed in Tehran, Israeli engineers helped modernize Iranian agriculture. It was a quiet, pragmatic alliance built on survival. But in 1979, everything shattered. The Iranian Revolution erupted. The Shah was overthrown. Ayatollah Khomeini returned from exile and turned Iran into a theocracy. The new regime viewed Israel as a disease. The Israeli embassy was handed to the Palestinians. Maps erased Israel's name. Sermons called for its destruction. The shift wasn't just political, it was deeply personal. Iran began acting on its ideology. They funded Hezbollah, backed Palestinian militants, launched a new kind of war. One fought in alleyways, embassies, and cyberspace. A shadow war had begun. As the West watched the Cold War, Israel and Iran were fighting a silent war. Covert strikes, proxy militias, assassinations across Europe and the Middle East. Billions poured into Hezbollah. Israel responded with airstrikes and surveillance. Then came Iran's nuclear ambitions. Tehran claimed it was peaceful, just electricity. But secret facilities were exposed. Israel didn't wait. Scientists were assassinated. Explosions hit nuclear sites. In 2010, the Stuxnet virus sabotaged Iran's centrifuges without a single shot fired. Iran launched cyber attacks in response. Water systems and banks in Israel were hit. The conflict had gone digital. Iran's influence expanded across Iraq, Syria, and Yemen. Militias popped up near Israel's borders. In response, Israel began launching near-weekly airstrikes in Syria, so frequent they stopped making headlines. Then came a new twist: the Abraham Accords. In 2020, Arab nations like the UAE and Bahrain made peace with Israel. Trade and tourism surged. Iran was furious. Its vision of Muslim unity against Israel was slipping. More missiles, more funding, more threats followed. And in 2024 and 2025, the nightmare scenario came true. Top Iranian generals were assassinated. Iran responded with hundreds of drones and missiles. Tel Aviv's skies lit up with Iron Dome intercepts. Oil markets panicked. Gold soared. Crypto crashed. The world watched two ancient enemies edge toward all-out war. And all of it traces back to one surreal truth: they were once allies. Now they prepare for a war neither side wants, but both feel destined to fight. What began with oil and handshakes has ended with blood and missiles. And while diplomats talk and pundits guess, the truth is this: the Iran-Israel conflict didn't begin with bombs or drones. It began the moment trust died and ideology took its place. This war was never supposed to happen, but it might be the war that changes everything. If you found this history shocking and want to understand what's next, from drone programs to AI warfare, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow. Because in a fragile world, knowledge isn't just power, it's protection.